Alright, definitely recording this time, man. Like, comment, subscribe, homie. I'm gonna beat you down, you know what I'm saying? We got Marko talking about something. He made some shoes to walk up walls and stuff. Let's check it out.
World's strongest magnet. And today I'm gonna use these magnets to make shoes that I can walk up a wall with, as well as a floating shoe display and a levitating hoverboard, all using magnets, starting with the floating shoe display. I'm gonna start by cutting this out. I'm gonna cut a bunch of these out and layer them on top of each other and then glue them all together. Look at this thing. It dried all overnight. Now we're gonna take the clamps off. See the vision? Look, shoe right here, spinning. Now we gotta grind. Wake up and grind. Rise and grind. I'm gonna grind down all the different layers of wood to make the whole thing look like one smooth piece instead of like a bunch of layers of wood glued together. And then I took it to my studio so I could start sanding it down and get it ready for paint. Look at how cool this looks, like the 3D texture. So far it looks good, now we just need to paint it. This first layer of paint is just the seal layer. I'm doing a thick coat of white paint just to seal in any of the air that might be in the wood so it doesn't come out when I put that final layer of epoxy. For this piece, I also decided to do a bunch of different shades of pink. I feel like it would look cool if I made it like a heat map kind of pattern. So all the lower pieces of wood were like lighter pink, and then as the wood got higher and higher, it got darker and darker pink. The magnetic thing is gonna go right here and levitate the shoe here. Once I added my thin coat of epoxy over all the paint, it was time for the magnet. I drilled the little hole at the top of this thing right here. Look at it. That little hole. Now I'm gonna screw the magnet right into that. That looks awesome. Now I got this metal ball. Watch this. Oh, I can feel it pulling. See the ball? Yeah. It's just levitating. That's how hard it's pulling. Put the ball in the shoe. Put it here. That's why we have the fishing line in the bottom. I'm gonna feed the fishing line through this hole. I'm gonna pull it out.
So you can never not use the... You can never use the shoe.
Put my finger right in there. Wait, actually, I can't have a white shoe on a display shelf. I'm the custom shoe guy.
You can get one off of Amazon, bro.
Look at this thing. Let's put it all together.
That is fire, though.
I feel like it was missing something, so I added some black accents and stuff. Metal ball in the shoe. The moment of truth. Ready? Oh my gosh. Oh, yes! This thing looks so cool in the sun, I think. Levitation. This thing honestly turned out way cooler than I expected. I also think the black lines made it look a lot better. I also know they already sell these like without the string. It's just like an electromagnet at the top. But I kind of actually like my version better because obviously this is something anyone could do at home. And it doesn't need to be plugged in. You could put this up anywhere and it will just stay on forever. All right, guys, now next up, we're gonna make a hoverboard with magnets. I didn't want to use an already made skateboard, so I'm gonna use all these thin sheets of wood and glue them all together and make my own shape of the board. Have you ever had this? Have you ever had this? You're good. Okay, now this whole thing's done. Look at this thing. All clamped up and done. Oh, what the heck? Now I can draw out the shape I want my hoverboard, cut the whole thing out, sand it, and then paint it. Once I had that all done, I ordered an electromagnetic base plate. Don't know what that is, but it says it online and it sounds cool as hell. The electromagnet automatically centers it so it levitates. This skateboard's supposed to go right on here and float here. But the bad news is the board's too heavy. So instead, I'm gonna make the skateboard out of these lightweight foam boards. I'm gonna carve them, cut them, and sand them to make the exact shape of the wooden skateboard. Now this is all ready. Look, I did a bit of my, you know, the Marko signature art style on here. Now we're gonna pour a thin coat of epoxy on the entire thing, kind of cover up all those little cracks and bubbles. The epoxy makes the color look way better. The only thing I'm kind of nervous about is the weight of the epoxy. It might be too heavy for like the magnets, but I hope it's not. So I'm just gonna do a thin coat. Now we're gonna levitate it. Look at this thing. This still trips me up. I don't really understand how this works. You gotta get it perfectly in the center. Oh, look at that. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand it. But I'm gonna try to balance this perfectly on that magnet. That's how this thing's gonna levitate. It's gonna look cool if it's just constantly spinning around. Oh my gosh. Oh! Show the bottom. Look at the levitation. Can you see my eyes under there?
I can, actually.
Oh, levitation. Cool. Wait, oh, it's tilting. Why is it tilting so much? I'm thinking it's just gonna sit in my house like this, literally on the pedestal. Look at it, and it's just gonna sit there and spin forever. Every time it looks like it's about to fall off balance, like look how it's kind of lopsided, it just naturally goes back into the right shape. I don't really know how. Just another art piece for my house. Okay, guys, now, in this box right here is the world's strongest magnet. Safety warning, be careful for whatever reason. We're gonna use these strong magnets to make the shoes that I can walk up a wall in. This magnet holds 500 pounds. Oh my gosh. Oh, what the hell? That's
Yeah,
not what I expected.
How are you supposed to get that off?
For the first version of my shoe, I just wanted to grind out a little circle in the bottom of the shoe and screw the magnet onto a metal plate that I put inside. Now this is like really stuck on. It's not going anywhere. I took it to a metal storage crate and tested the shoe up on the metal beams. It actually ended up sticking.
Yeah. No airtime for you. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe if you're enjoying the video. You know what I'm saying? One of these days, maybe we'll pay for YouTube Plus so we don't have to keep switching to my face. You know what I'm saying? But I don't get that many views or any money from this yet.
Way better than I expected, and it was actually kind of impossible to get off. Is this a good sign or a bad sign? I can't really tell. Once I put my foot in the shoe, I realized the magnet would come off when I bent my foot because the metal plate inside the shoe. Oh, was that kind of cool or that look stupid?
It looked kind of stupid.
Okay. I think the problem is the fact that the magnet is on the bottom of my foot. I think if the magnet was like on my toe right here, and I could just put the front of my foot against the wall, and then I could kind of step up. Now that I had a plan, I met up with a metal welder. This is Bob, by the way. Nice. And he's gonna help me with the next part of the shoe. He's actually just doing it for me. Is it working good?
Yep.
Cool.
That's so random.
Done.
Thanks. I had him make an L-shaped piece of metal that I could fasten the shoe to and then put the magnets on the other side so when I step up the wall, my feet are straight. All right, I don't know if this looks cooler or stupid, but I think I'm gonna look like a superhero.
You look so cool, man.
Do I actually?
Why are you wearing gloves, bro?
What?
Why are you wearing gloves?
I feel like it just makes it look cooler.
Oh.
The whole thing. Obviously, these don't look the coolest to use, but these are actually working a lot better than the other ones I had. I think there was just too much pressure on the heel of my foot, so when I tried to lift my body up, the magnets kind of peeled off, which was definitely a bit frustrating. Stop recording.
What?
Nothing ever works for me. I said stop recording. Do I see a red button on the camera? At this point, the main thing I needed to switch out was the magnet. Instead of the fishing magnet, I ordered an electric magnetic gate lock, which I wired to an on and off switch so I could power the magnet on and off whenever I wanted. I also had Bob weld the magnet onto the piece of metal he made earlier. So it's not going anywhere. This is rock solid. I have this little battery. This is gonna go in like a backpack or something while I'm, scaling the side of a building. And this time when I tested the shoes on a metal plate, it actually worked surprisingly well.
That is so strong.
Do I look like Spider-Man? I'm gonna have to learn to each hand go one by one and then turn it off when I step and it releases. Now I just had to reattach the shoes onto the magnets, put the batteries in the backpack, and load up my car to test this all out.
You look like you're ready to do something.
He does indeed look like he's ready to do something.
Like a superhero.
Moment of truth.
Not working. I figured out the electromagnet wouldn't stick to any metal surface if it had like paint or anything in between the metal and the wall.
It was working good earlier.
I spent the whole day looking for a good spot to walk up. I eventually just strapped up this piece of metal outside my warehouse, which actually ended up working the best. I was finally able to get a glimpse of how the shoes would actually work in the very end.
It's so hard to get my foot on there.
It took me a while to get the hang of it, but I realized it was almost impossible for me to step up the wall when my knee was in between the wall and my foot. I ended up turning my foot to the side so the magnet was like in the inside of my foot. Also, my foot was closer to the magnet, so it kind of stuck better to the wall. And my toes could point out, so when I bent my knees, they were just going out the side and they weren't going against the wall.
Left, now right.
I did kind of beat myself up a little bit getting these shoes to work.
Oh, I hit my dome. This thing's digging into my leg.
At the end of the day, this is as high as I was able to get. At first, I was just gonna call this a success and kind of stop the video. But then when I got home to edit the footage, I realized I definitely did not look as cool as I thought I did. I feel like spending the last 3 weeks making these shoes just to climb up like 3 steps definitely wasn't enough. So the next day I went to the metal supply store and bought a 500-pound, 8-foot piece of metal. I took that to the original storage container, strapped it up against the wall, and this was gonna be the wall I walk up.
It's so hot, my butt is sweating.
That's okay, my butt's sweating too. I have swamp ass right now. And the storage container had been sitting in the sun all day. Dude, it's too hot. I grabbed the top and it was burned my hands off. Look at that. The top of the container is too hot, so I couldn't grab up there, but we're definitely gonna be able to get up there.
You want a shirt?
We could put something up there.
I don't know why you have that backpack on you.
I just kind of realized I didn't have to wear the backpack the whole time. I don't know how I just realized that, but.
Trial and error.
Ready?
Yeah. Ready.
A hoodie and a beanie in the middle of California summer is crazy.
Right. Left. Left.
Lock it.
I'll take that. I don't even know if that looks super cool, but they worked. The shoes work.
Hey, I met that guy.
Needs a little bit of work, but yeah, they work. You know what I'm saying? That was another one. That was another successful react that y'all watched with me. Welcome to the family. Like, comment, subscribe. You know what I'm saying?